Hey crafty cuties, and welcome back to Paper Terrace. Welcome to a new edition of 10-Minute Tuesday. Today we are going to spend 10 minutes on a quick little project, and we're using up scraps. So both of those things combined is going to make for a fun day. I'm going to give you a little idea of what we are making. This is it right here. These are little mini like specimen cards, window card, whatever you want to call it. And these are so easy. I've made a version of these probably 10 different times, and sometimes they can be a little bit more time consuming. So today I wanted to come up with a way for you to use your tiny strips of paper and whatever decorating items you have. So you really just need strips of paper, a hole punch, and then if you have stickers or embellishments. I'm going to be decorating mine in a Halloween theme, but don't let that hold you back from doing whatever theme or style you want. So first we're gonna go and pick through some of our strips. I do want to keep in mind that I'm trying to keep this around 10 minutes for my challenge, but trust me, I know you can get pretty carried away making these because they are fun and easy and pretty addicting. I'm going to have my little trimmer here because we are going to cut these down even a little bit more, and I like to have them around 2 inches. And I guess I will say, so my hole punch is 1.25 inches. I absolutely love this circle punch. I said a hole punch, but I love this circle punch. It's from Amazon, and it is the best hole punch ever. Circle punch. I'm gonna probably keep calling it a hole punch. And so because it's this size, I went ahead and I'm making my strips. It definitely has to be bigger than this, but I suggest at least 1/4 of an inch bigger than what your circle punch is. But again, I'm gonna go with about 2 inches. And then if we need to trim anything down after that, we can. So 2 inches, and then I think I went with about 4 3/4. Again, I might cut them down a little bit more, but we'll just start there. And I do feel like this is a project where you can get away with using different, like it doesn't have to be exactly this measurement. But we are going to at least get started with 2 inches by 4 3/4. And let's see, we'll just prep like 4 of them so that we can not feel like we are rushing. Okay. I love this scrap, and I kept it specifically for this. This is some dyed paper that I made. I think a few years back, actually. And I think it's about yeah, it's actually like maybe a tiny bit smaller, but that's perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with those. We are going to get this out of our way. Ooh, I was just thinking that some cheesecloth would be really fun for decorating these. Now, if you do have some acetate or packaging, you can also use that for these, for the little window part, but you really don't have to. We are going to get started, and I like to fold mine in half. I have some double-sided paper here, so I'll just have to decide which side I want. On the outside, yeah, I might want to trim these a little bit. Well, we'll see. Okay. I'm kind of a go with the flow person, so if you're not, you might want to try one out, and then if you need to trim it down or adjust the size, you can do that before you make a whole bunch. I'm going to just try to get my, let's see, I think I want them to maybe kind of look like a Polaroid style. And so I am going to try to just get it even between the two sides. Let's see, whoops. Yes, yeah, I might want to actually trim a little bit off on this side, but that's totally easy to do. Okay. So I probably make them a little bit less than 4 3/4, maybe 4.5 inches probably, but I think it's kind of, I would rather have a little bit too much than not enough. So we will just do the same thing for all of these. In fact, this circle punch is so great that we can actually put several papers in at once. I probably cut some of these not perfectly straight, and so I will just try my best to fold them in half. And then I'm gonna stack a couple of them up here, 3 of them. And then oops. Yeah, I love, you can punch through a lot of papers with these. Save those circles, you know what? I feel like I should challenge myself here and save those circles for a new project, maybe next week. Don't hold me to it, but I'm gonna try. All right, some fun circles. Go ahead if you did want to trim off any. Shoot, might as well even keep the extra little strips if we have them. Okay. There we go. Whoops. Now it's time for decorating. This is the fun part. So I was thinking that I will just use some die cuts and ephemera things that I already have. We'll start with this one here. And I'm going to look through, I have a ton of like Tim Holtz stuff right now. So I am going to make use of that. I also have some really fun stickers I was thinking would be great to use. This is from Dilly Dally Stickers. If you are one of my Patreon members, you probably have one of these headed your way in the mail. Okay, I'm feeling like that moon like is gonna fit perfect in one of these. Yeah, let's see, I'm not sure. You can actually, so if you want, you can even just close it and then decorate like that. The moon is a perfect little fit. That will be cute. Okay. And I definitely want to use one of these right here. And I'm just kind of trying to see where it's going to fit within the little circle. Yeah. The sun would be another great one to choose from. Let's put the sun on this one. Okay, I should have had it come down a little bit. Let's see if I can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I kind of want it to fit right in the center of the circle. Okay, well, we're just gonna not fuss with it too much because I'm tired of doing that sometimes in crafting. So we'll just, you know, go with that. Okay, these are really cute and I could actually use up all of these, but I want to also use up some of my other little pieces. So let's see what else would work well. That would be kind of funny, a little eye. I wonder. I'm trying to, okay, oh, are we already at 10 minutes almost? What the heck? I guess I did talk for a few minutes, so I'm going to gather myself. Okay, that one I am going to place like a little, a different background. So I am going to, whoopsies, that was way too much glue, but that's okay. Yeah, something like that. And then go ahead and so really, these are not even super Halloween-y, but I kind of like that. I feel like they're more like fall. Okay, I think we can make that work. And you know what? I originally was going to use, I have some acetate, but I almost feel like you don't actually even need it. Okay, let's go with a little that, or, sorry, I'm just peeking through to see what else I have. You know what? I was really liking these little like astrology. I'm going to have that be the top though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I really like how it looks actually. Okay, then, okay, so like I was mentioning, I do have some acetate. We'll do one with it just so you can see, but I really actually don't really feel like on these it's going to make that much of a difference. So don't stress yourself if you don't have any. It will make it a little bit more sturdy, of course. You can see I just added some glue and very messily added it, making sure it was covering, and then I'm going to just trim off the excess. Okay, then go ahead and glue them all shut. Just make sure that you are not gluing too close to the window if you don't want a mess. I am using my white PVA glue. And again, if it's not perfectly centered, just fix it when you are decorating the outside. I love the little moon, actually, it's so cute. Perfect fit. All right. Glue that shut. I have been in such need of having some simple little projects like this. I think this time of year we can get so overwhelmed with all of the different pressures with holiday crafting. And I'm not saying don't do it. Do the crafting because you're gonna love it in the end, but just make sure you are giving yourself enough time to recharge, work on other things. I need that advice for myself if I'm being honest. So, okay, now I'm just going to kind of lightly decorate the outer edges of them. And of course I'm using too much glue. I'm gonna grab a little bit of cheesecloth. Actually, you know what? Since I have, cheesecloth would be a good one to use, but I always am using that. So instead, I have a bunch of this black tulle, and I think that that would look fun, especially on these ones. So we'll go like that. For this one, I'm gonna look through and find like a little tag or something. That fits perfect, but let's go like this. I really like how she included botanical pieces in the sticker sheet. And then we'll just go kind of like that. You can go over the window if you want, and that will hold down our tulle. I might need to add a little bit of glue on the back side of it just to hold it down. And then I'll place something heavy on it when we're done here, when I'm done filming at least. And then I'm going to finish this one off with a little like Tim Holtz label. But if you have like stickers and things, that would be perfect for this. And if I wanted to give myself an extra 10 minutes, it would be fun to turn these into like little charms. I've made, like I said, I've made many versions of these pretty often, and I've done that before. So we'll just keep these ones a little bit more simple. Do it like that. There's that one, that one. Oh yeah, let's add some. Okay, so I've probably made it to the 10-minute mark now, but I've said this, I'm gonna see if I want to add this in the tool to this one. But I've mentioned before on these videos that I will allow myself to go over the 10 minutes if I'm making more than one. And again, I don't really want to like rush myself, but I like the idea of having a 10-minute project because you could easily make one of these in 10 minutes. And that's kind of where the 10 minutes comes in, is that if you just had 10 minutes, you could make one or probably even two. I mean, it sort of depends on how in practice you are with crafting. Okay, we're gonna have this be the bottom because that looks about right. And since my little sun is off-centered on this one, I think I will put a larger decoration on the outside. Ooh, I kind of like the owl. It makes it a little creepy. And we'll do a piece of the tool as well. It does seem like you need a little bit of glue just to make it stick. Okay. Like that. And last one. I definitely have to put something heavy. So when you are using the tool, you'll need something heavy to make sure that everything sticks down. I'll actually have that be the top. We'll just place a piece of tool on the corner there like that, not really worrying about the placement too much. And then we'll just use some basic little labels on this one. And I'm gonna use this little like moth. Yeah, I keep using way too much glue. All right, and then I kind of want to finish it off. There are so many cute stickers on here. And I really like these pieces right here. Even if it's kind of in the background, it looks fun. So we'll do the same. Actually, for this one, I'm going to use some of the little stars. Okay. Perfect. And I think I'm about to stop here, even though I clearly want to keep going. But I'm going to finish this one off with just another little like kind of label. And if you don't have like these little Tim Holtz labels and things, there are a bunch of digital options on Etsy. I would recommend checking out Pink Monarch. She has a lot of really fun and perfect little vintage kind of labels that would work for any theme. There you go. And I know there's quite a few more places, but Pink Monarch Prints, that's what it is. There we go, guys. Fun. Very simple, very nice to get rid of your scraps, and they turn out so cute. And I showed you how I used one in my journal here. I actually use this is like a little collage page in my junk planner, but I also made it like a tiny little tuck spot. So I would love if you make some of these to share a picture, tag me, And I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope to see you back next week using these circles, but it's been such a hectic filming week and send out week that I can't promise, but I will save them for hopefully next week. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.